For guys to catch up, just what's kind of the mood of this team, the focus going into this week after a tough loss?
Well, we've done a Monday and a Wednesday already, with these guys, meaning that we've got to it, talked about it, clearly talking about making the choice to do this, each one of these weeks right. And that means we get after it and we have the intent of competing and battling, trying to get better, make the corrections, and do everything we can to have as much fun with it as possible. The mood, they're with us on that, and so we're off and running again.
Bob Condotta, Seattle Times.
Hey, Pete, it sounds like you have Adrian Peterson in for a visit. Just where does that stand, and I guess where your running back situation in general? Obviously, you got injuries.
He's in. I just saw him. He's in. Excited to see if he can help us out and give us a little something. And it's a player that I've known forever. Is way back to his high school days, and admired him tremendously over the years. Always disappointed we didn't get him back in the day, but like I just told him, we finally got him. So I'm looking forward to see how he does and see where he can fit in. He's an incredible competitor and a great guy, and so I'm anxious to give him a chance to get on the field with our boys.
Corbin.
Hey, Pete, obviously winning stays the top priority moving forward, but with less than a 1% chance of making the playoffs this season.
There's such a thing as less than 1% chance? Or did you just...
Yes.
There is such a thing. Wow. I like those odds.
Does that alter your approach at all as far as how you would divvy out reps for maybe mixing in some other younger players, like maybe a Stone Forsythe or someone like that maybe hasn't gotten a chance to play after this point?
No. We're doing everything we can, just like we know how to win every game with the guys that have done the work to put us in the best position to give us that chance. That's what we're doing. I would love for everybody to play. I would love for everybody to get in the game. We need to get way ahead and give those guys a chance to jump in and work their way back.
Jackie?
Hey, Pete, the last time you guys faced the 49ers, Elijah Mitchell didn't play. What have you seen from their rookie and what he's done in the last few games?
Well, they've been really effective. The commitment really was obvious against the Rams a few weeks ago, that they were really going after the running game, and they've been making great progress the last 3 weeks. They continue to get more yards each week, and he's been right in the middle of all of it. He's tough. He's got really good speed. Everybody that runs for them always looks good, and it's because they have a real commitment to it. That showing up, they're running the ball a ton, and he's the lead ball carrier right now.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Pete, to be clear, have you already signed Adrian Peterson? Is that what you meant by that?
Yep.
The practice squad?
Yep. I just saw him signing in just now.
Oh, okay. And is Rashad going to go on IR?
No, we're going to see how he works this week, see if he can get back in action. We're not sure yet. Have to wait and see. This is going to be it's a week that we're in a little bit different mode because of the Monday night game, and so as we make it through the first couple of days of the week, we're kind of in recovery mode, and he should be able to do everything, is what the trainers are saying. I'm talking about Rashad now, and so we'll see what that means.
Can Josh Johnson get some carries on a game day as well? Is that possible?
Not everybody can get it, but yeah, I would love to see him get the ball.
Thank you.
Art.
Pete, have you given consideration to resting Russell on Sunday, and if not, why not?
He doesn't need it.
Do you think the break would be of no use?
He doesn't need it, Art. We're not going there. Okay. He's fine.
Brady.
Hey, Pete, what's going on with Carlos Dunlap? It really seems, based on the snap counts, that his role has really diminished on the 4 snaps last week.
Yeah, he didn't get as much play time, just the way we were substituting and rolling guys through there. And so I know he wants to play more, and we'd like to see him have a bigger effect, but last week it just didn't happen. Sometimes the rotation, it gets like that sometimes, we're trying to see guys, or we're moving guys around the way they're playing. They ran the ball a lot, and we'd like him in there on the throwing downs as much as possible.
And with Adrian Peterson, what's realistic for him with where Alex is at, where Adrian Peterson is at 30, however old he is? What do you expect from him?
I got to wait and see how he does out here. I've watched the film and seen him play. He plays just as aggressive and tough as he ever has, so I'm anxious to see what he adds to the club. He's fired up about it too. So I don't have anything specific to tell you until we get on the field and get working. That hasn't happened yet.
Thanks.
Sure.
Masvida.
Hey, Pete, going back to the 49ers, their run game, you said that it's part of the success is because they're committed, but is there certain schemes they're doing that's making it successful and their commitment to continuing with it?
Yeah, if it really comes down, one of them is the coaches calling the plays and giving them a chance, but they're calling it with really high regularity. I mean, they're running the ball much more than they have, and as much as anybody in football in these last 3 weeks in particular, and they've just found a tremendous success in it. It couldn't have been more obvious in the Rams game. They knocked down their pass rush opportunities by just controlling the ball on the ground, and they're a good perimeter running team. They're basically a zone running team, but they have, with the commitment they have man block schemes, gap block schemes, and they do a variety of things with their perimeter guys too. So they're just really committed to it, and it couldn't get more obvious.
Jen?
Coach, there might not be as many opportunities for pass rush this week, given how much the 49ers are going to run the ball. But what did you think of Alton Robinson, and what else needs to happen with that pass rush unit?
Yeah, I think our numbers were 38% of the time. You guys can double check. That's what we're hearing. That we had pressure on the quarterback. We missed 3 sacks that we really should have had, and we're keeping. They had one explosive pass play or something in the game. So we're keeping things under wraps, but not being able to hit the quarterback. And the problem that results from that is you don't get the chance to get the ball from them. And it's one of the most vulnerable parts of the game is getting after the quarterback. And when we're not as effective as we need to be, then we're not getting our shots at the football. The poor throws, the ball's coming out, and so we're going to just keep working at it. I was surprised. I didn't feel like the rush was significant enough in that game, but the numbers kind of show that we did some stuff. But we got to do better, and we got to finish the plays. We got to finish the opportunities. That's where the ball comes out, and we need to make those turnovers to help us on offense.
On finishing the plays, is some of that just the rawness of the talent that's there, like a Darrell Taylor and Alton, that's still trying to figure out how to finish at the top of that
yeah,
move?
there is a point to that, Jen, that when the guys, they work so hard, and then there's the opportunity, and they almost, they get a little crazy to try to finish it, and sometimes they're a little out of control, and they don't, get done what you need to get done, and you saw Heineke did a nice job of escaping, but really we had him, and it wasn't just the young guys though. I know Benson had a real clean shot that we lost out on, so we just need to do better and finish the plays. Maybe we need to get more accustomed to making those sacks, and so that they'll be more comfortable doing it.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, how have you seen the improvement of the play at cornerback develop throughout the season? It seemed like it was a real issue for you guys the first several weeks of the year, moving DJ over. I mean, is it that simple, getting him on the other side and then having Sidney and Trey play to their level? What's kind of allowed that group as a whole to take the leap that it has?
Yeah, well, it really was when we moved DJ back to the right side that things started happening, and Trey played really well for us throughout the time he was here. I'm Trey Brown, and matter of fact, I just saw him just before coming in the meeting that he's back in the building now after his surgery, and encouraged. But the combination of those two guys, and then as Sidney comes back to us now to take Trey's spot, he's been real active and done a nice job, and so there is scheme involved also with that. How we've done some things differently to make sure that those guys can be more effective, and it's just worked out. They've been on it, and I'm really satisfied with the way that they're playing and the activity and the playmaking that's coming. So it's been pretty quiet on the edge for a while now.
Greg?
Pete, with Adrian Peterson, where you are in this season in particular, how does he fit into right now, as opposed to, say, giving Josh Johnson a chance for what you might have next year, seeing what you might have?
We're trying to get ready to win this football game, Greg, and So I'm gonna see if if Adrian's got something to offer us. He just in his presence and his toughness, he brings something, and so. Let's see what happens. We're just trying to get the right mix. Rashad's been in and out, been concerned about him getting back and staying back. Homer has been banged up, and we're not sure about him this week either. So it just looks like there's some opportunities, and so we'll see how it goes and see how the guys respond. I'm as excited as probably you guys are just to see what he looks like, playing in our uniform and doing something for us. So we'll see how it goes.
And we saw Al Woods take a knee and get looked at on the sideline before he came back in. Is he full go this week?
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Tim?
First, Pete, do you expect Damian Lewis to be able to play this week?
Good positive signs going into today from the docs. We'll see what happens. This week will help him a little bit. He'll get another couple days where we won't have to be jamming on anybody. So we'll see if that doesn't help him. So, but we are thinking that he should be back.
And then after you watch the film, what'd you make of Russell's performance on Monday night, and maybe in particular some of those intermediate throws that got away from him? What did you see as the factors as to why he wasn't as accurate as he's been?
Yeah, as we went through it, and we watched it together, there's a few plays in there really on the shorter passing game that he just really tried to drill the football, and maybe threw a little too hard, threw it harder than normal, trying to make sure the ball was there and crisp and all of that. The ball's down the field. He threw the ball really well on the move, really well, but we weren't as sharp as we need to be, and it showed up on I think 3 specific third down situations that all could have been very convertible for us, and so that's just what as we looked at it, so they're easily corrected, easily corrected. He feels great. He does not feel like he's burdened by by the surgery from the past and all that. He's ready to go. So to address the other question, he doesn't need to be rested. He's not tired. He's not worn down or anything. He needs the action. He needs to get back to the activity. He needs to play more and get in the flow of it as much as possible.
Do you feel like he's seeing the field the way he needs to? It seems like there's opportunities that he's not taking advantage of.
No, well, that's because you look at the film after the play's over and you see, hey, this guy was open. Well, he's going where he's supposed to go. He's been consistent with that. We need to be consistent with the throws, and make sure that he's hitting the guys when he gets his chance specifically on third down. And that's just been an Achilles heel for us, and we need to get out of this thing and get going and get moving. We had those five series in a row, 5 chances with the football that we didn't get anything done, and those are all opportunities to convert. And in those situations, they were very makeable. We had 1 3rd and 8, and 3rd and 5 and less on the rest of them, I believe, and those are situations we need to excel at, and we expect to, and we're not settling for anything but that. And so he's got to do his part. We got to catch the football. We got to get the protection right, and so everything adds up so we can be successful. And it really, the whole part is just, it's frustrating because we've been talking about the same thing. We need to get better and show that. And it's on me, it's on all of us.
Thank you.
Bob Condotta, Seattle Times.
Yeah, I was going to ask something similar to Tim, but you said Russell was going to the right place on all those. Does that include the final 2-point play, or is there anything you would have wanted them to have done differently on that one?
On the 2-point play, he had 3 different options on it. He checked out one of them, he saw the other one, and Freddie flashed wide open in the middle, and he went to it. Had he held the football and waited, DK might have come open in another corner, which is it's a concept and a play that we run all the time, and he knows really well. He saw Freddie and went for it, and guy made a nice play coming off of DK. That guy looked like he was out of that play and it was going to be all Freddie, and the guy made a nice play to get back into the ball.
Jackie?
Maybe another quick one about San Francisco. Nick Bosa with the 11 sacks, just the year that he's having. What have you seen from him, and what's made him so effective?
He's as active as ever. They're moving him around more. They're playing him on the other side some, and we've even seen him over the center some. So they're really trying to position him to be effective. He's a really good player. He plays with a great motor. His strength to power stuff that he's got, he just adds it to his rushes, along with the speed, really makes him very, very difficult. And so we got to take care of him. We got to make sure we know where he is and account for him in our protection pickups.
John Boyle.
Yeah, Pete, seems like Jamal has been really active these last few games. Just what are you seeing out of him, especially of late?
Yeah, he's taking advantage of his opportunities well. He's we're moving him around quite a bit. He's doing a lot in the scheme. He's drawn a lot of attention. We continue to see that. They continue to find him in protection, which does give us. We need to take advantage of that more. And so, but he's just playing really hard. He's playing tough. His confidence is up, and he's really bringing a lot for us.
Last couple, Brady.
Hey, Pete, just wondering what you thought of Jordan Brooks's game now that you had a chance to see the film.
Yeah, he was really active. He's a really good ball player. I mean, he's a great tackler. For the most part, you can see his strength all the time when he gets a hold of guys. They don't get away. He continues to learn. He's learning. He's still in the process of getting rid of the couple plays here, that the coverage opportunity, reading the screen, read whatever it is. There's things that happen. Sometimes he does them really well, and sometimes he's excited to make the play that he's making, and sometimes he's just going to get better. I mean, that's what it means. It's just experience. It's just time. Didn't he make 100 tackles this week? Yeah. So I mean, what a fantastic second year for him. To have two guys over 100 tackles is, I don't think we've ever been that. I don't know if we have. And he's just getting warmed up. He's got a lot of games left, so he's going to be a fantastically consistent, big-time producer, but he's still got room to grow. He's still got room to get better.
Thanks.
Last question, Greg Bell, Tacoma News Tribune.
Pete, you mentioned the other night in Washington how big a challenge this is going to be for you. Now that you've started into this, what is exactly the challenge? What do you have to do differently you've never had to do?
Yeah, it's just really getting clear on how to keep moving forward, and it is a challenge because it's just different, But what's really obvious is you got to be true to yourself, and you got to be who you are, and make sure you stay as connected to the person you know yourself to be, and you got to and just wear it out. Continue to expect our guys to play with great energy and demand that of the coaching staff, making sure that we're all going for it. And that it's I would tell you that I see that more clearly than I did maybe a couple weeks ago, and how important it is to get right back at it and not back off anything. And so I'm going to be competing my butt off just as much as I possibly can, and make sure that they're following suit.
Has anything that's happened or where this is now changed what you want to do going forward? How long you think you want to do this? Any of that in your future?
It's not even a factor in talking or thinking about it. It's just what's right in front right now. We've got a lot of work to do and all that. And I haven't changed anything at all.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. We'll see you in person tomorrow. Can't wait.